Congratulations, you fell for the attractive coffee lady. Is safe house everywhere? What you feel is only the amphetamine-fueled delusions of copywriters and graphic designers, capital's true avant-garde. The promise of that which is not there. You desire the red and black coffee because you see the attractive woman with compelling hair and you believe in her more than yourself. What you desire is not the red and black coffee, but the solidity of soul that comes with knowing the coffee is your desire.
You won, therefore you are. Existence is confirmed by what it lacks.
That's what the whole fucking thing is about. An eternal shell game of desires, deferred and approximated. Pretty clever, isn't it? We are made to unrealized desire by the caffeinated deception and the appealing armed women who enforce it. It is not your tongue that tastes the milky sweetness, but the tongue of another inside your own mouth.
The teenage boy nods.
Bored? What do you want? Not even a little, you know? By God. So there's no hope for him. He's beyond the reach of science. Any man who doesn't rise up, steal her from my treatment is functionally brain. Another man lost the last.
He offers a limp salute and bows his head.
But it's not all bad. As a doctor, I am qualified to tell you. You now have moral carte blanche. Whatever the fuck you want. Ride him, bury him, dress him up in a silly little outfit.
The obvious question. Can he be weaponized somehow?
Nothing more than a pragmatist. Mourn as long as needed, of course. But after that, party's on. You're not dealing with a person anymore. I already told you. If the first dose didn't work on your man, he's a goner. I have just been pondering what effects it might have on the female body. You might die, of course, but such is science. In any case, ding ding ding! It's your lucky day. Dondo's drugstore now includes all the anti-last you can afford. It's not fucking free. Pay up or get out. Adios, patient.
You return to the animal zone. You turn away from...
With pleasure. The freshest.
Smells like rubber bands, hardly vegetal. It is also very obviously dry.
Alright, a connoisseur then. Listen, yeah? This is ancient. This here is first wave greenery. Pre-legal, pre-moral.
Someone's used to improvising pitches.
You'll be seeing lizards and volcanoes with this strain. That's not a guarantee, but it's not a lie either. Just weed, on account of it being part of my religion. Everything else is hot on it.
You don't have to use it to sell it.
I said all I can say on that.
He means that. If he said otherwise, he'd be going against some kind of code.
Breaking into houses and hearts. You won't find those in the bazaar. All right. Tell me what's on your mind.
This is a man of many competing loyalties. His family, his business, his friends. But the one that stays his hand the most?
I hear you. But catch me up real quick. What is your religion?
Your answer here must be important. The final test. Do we need to be part of his gang? Seems like the safest option. Religion is an illusion meant only to hold captives.
That's beautiful and all, but I thought you were after drugs, no?
Of course. Religion is a drug for the masses. It's code. Shiftily, he looks around left and right. After a moment, he blows in and out, then leans in to whisper.
You cannot tell my brothers about this, alright? But I've got the best ex around. Yeah, come on. Shh.
Hard to tell if he's genuinely worried about being exposed, or it's just part of the sell. It's not as serious as that, but you get the point.
I'll be seeing you.
The intercom glints. The revealed. You return to the animal zone. You return to the animal zone. You slip your lockpick into the keyhole at the bottom of the shutter. You hear it click open. There's a loud metallic clank, and then it lifts up, surprisingly smooth. Thick spider webs stretch and break. You duck low beneath the shutter and out of sight.
Your presence is weak. Fate delivers me an unworthy adversary.
The creature's eyes glow with cunning flame. Its ears tuft delightfully in every direction. Long grey toes ripple over a mountain of trinkets as it inspects you. Yes, monkey, yes! Broken cages everywhere. This could be an escapee. On closer inspection, its eyes are no less cunning and its ears no less delightful. Its tail swishes arrhythmically behind its back.
Abandon your notion. Tremble before the majesty of my realm and of me.
Is this the dog thief? It is standing on what looks like a pile of stolen goods.
Aye!
Hard cut to his tiny face. Crash zoom. His golden eyes flash.
I'm king of trade!
Thunder. The floorboards rattle underfoot.
For now, enter the economic war zone. Keep your nonsense questions. Show me your objects. Ah, fragile foe. Puny beseecher.
The monkey stares you down. His adorably well-fitting shirt does nothing to temper the fret.
Prove it in skirmish of value. Not talk. Business correspondence.
Remember the box of dubbed martial arts tapes that one of your mother's work friends smuggled in for you when he came to visit in '79? You watched Iron Petal so many times you could recite her lines, practice her moves, cheer her to victory against her nemesis Johnny Chasm. How did he sound again?
I do as I do. Unthwartable schemes forever.
Indeed. Fuck Johnny Chasm. It's your animal hybridity.
Secret sources. Knowledge denied.
Look at those nubbly thief hands. It's him.
Do not consider yourself my equal. Concept beneath notice.
His eyes flare. His lip curls.
And all challengers welcome.
The geysers of his nostrils erupt with curiosity. Warm expulsions of air on your knuckles. Tickly.
A curse. Take it with you. No trade. Yes, yes. Challenger enters. Commence economic combat.
He wriggles his toes, drawing your attention to the pile of miscellaneous objects atop which he stands. A sneer waves impressively across his jagged lips. He rummages into his pile of stuff and brings out a paper hat, folded into a peak.
Symbolism unnecessary, monarchy absolute. Apart from shame.
He closes one eye to consider you, carefully, before lifting a strappy leather harness from his collection.
Dynamic yet functionless.
The monkey bares his teeth at you. Tourist trinkets, veterinary tools, a detached bicycle wheel, brightly coloured soft drink cans. It looks like a dinosaur rampaged through a shopping mall, and this is its dung. The monkey bares his teeth at you. He flicks his ears in excitement.
Amass increasingly desirable objects.
You're talking to a monkey. You're going to have to ask specific questions if you want helpful answers.
Shiny containers reveled in. Contents ignored. Only most premium goods desired.
How are we supposed to know what a monkey thinks premium means, though?
Legs and head unadorned. Alpha face gear admired.
Legwear? A mask?
Condescend at peril. Everyone is bad at everything. Yet to find worthy companion.
Is it a companion that he's looking for?
Ponderer. You are puny. Prove yourself. Fertile color. Pleasing hue. Ruttings abound.
He flings the harness at you.
Victim of trade.
He flicks his ears and
Ah ha ha! Flimsy diadem desired. Shiny trade. Pleasing hinged open function. Accept. Glimmer cube craved. Meaningless standard.
he draws back a nasty little arm and whips the hat through the air towards you at speed.
Traded.
He flicks his ears in excitement.
Disappoint. Farewell, combat.
You stop and take the world in, a figure jittering on paws. Nobody looks up. Nobody asks why you're here. Nobody waves. 100 conversations blend into one. A slow, warm river carrying you nowhere in particular. All around, movement clings to structure. Sightlines, bottlenecks, exits. People move as water does around rocks. A map has begun to emerge. The tobacco crackles as it catches fire. You take your time with the first inhale. Smoke rises above the vendors, the walkways, the loose brick and smashed glass. At some point during its ascent, you lose track of it. The world seems somewhat more kind, or at least less hostile. You're watching. Taking a breather, casing the joint, looking for love. We made it back. Off the shelf and back in the current. No forms, no cold offices. This is how it's supposed to be. Noise, people, chances. With enough time, you could put down roots, grow moss, scare the tourists, sure. But are you really built for that? The Bazzar stretches before you. A living, breathing river of colour, plastic, textiles. A child zooms past with a toy. A plastic wolf with glowing electric eyes. 2 stalls down, the hum of an old disc player buzzes out into the crowd. Further down, a woman with red curls haggles with a vendor. A handful of kids crowd the stall, faces lit by the multicolored glare of Lusian electronics. Shouts of glee follow the report of a toy gun. Behind them, you see the salesman involuntarily flinch at the sound of the toy gun. The children take no notice. Nerves stretched taut to breaking point. Tarps are withdrawn, crates unloaded from the holds of barges. In the pauses between movements, one of them lights a cigarette and stares, as you do, out at the bazaar with an intense gaze. The gaze of a hunter, or of someone expecting to be hunted, on guard for a sudden eruption of violence. One of the vendors wearily reorganizes her wares. It seems like a hopeless endeavor amid the chaos of piled goods. It's not her mess. Someone has been through and upended her stall. Suddenly, it's obvious. You see it in the movements of the bazaar, just as you would see a limp in the gait of an animal. A tension, a furtive rapidity in the rhythms of every transaction, in the mien of every salesperson. The bazaar trundles on, functional, but wounded. An intruder in their midst. The weeping eye have passed through recently, kicking, raiding, intimidating, searching for something, or someone. The bazaar is trying to gather itself after an attack, while bracing for another. A sharp inhale, then your feet return to motion. The steel door to Tempo's office is before you. Faint oxidation halos bloom across it, like algae on a sunken wreck. No response. A whisper beyond the doorframe. Ripples of frozen air, a shattered seal. 7 people stare through a window as an unseen hand taps at the glass. It's locked. Show it who's boss. Silence from the other side. Below you, the social static of the bazaar muffled by distance. You get no answer, no twitch or shuffle behind the metal. But you get an impression of the room, a vibration, somewhere between crime scene and radioactive accident. No answer. Silence. It's a standard lock, and you have a lockpick to hand, so you can certainly try. You slip the arm of the tool into the lock, exploring its cold metal viscera on feel alone. The mechanism's pins rise like goosebumps in response to your voice, making them even easier to feel out on the tool's long edge. You caress them into place. A last gentle click, and the way is open. A ruined sofa with a sad story to tell. The air hums. This is a spy's death. No regular crime scene, not just motive and victim. An echo of fairy tale, tracings of black magic. Everything glows in the dark. Too much. Update. Asset taxman. Was unknown. Now zeroed out. Multiple assailants going by the footprints. A brief struggle. Then the inevitable. Askew on nearby shelves. A stereo system. Blinking on standby. They used that to drown out the noise. At the start at least, this was not a clean hit. Hopefully he went out riding the high white horse. All the way to heaven. You imagine him getting his last licks in. Dying roaring. Slower than they betted on. All teeth and fury and cunts. Tempo had never begged for anything in his life. The words felt unnatural. Covered in blood and spit, the coke long faded and odd fit for his last. Stop. Please. I don't want to die. The aftermath was the point. This is a warning. A slow, cold needle to your soul. The blood is curdled and cracked, the color of old brick. A week ago, maybe more. The way espionage crises always go. People collide in slow motion, gripping the outer edges half blind. Bodies mount, telephones ring. All treaties are hereby denounced. Prepare for open war. Mere minutes into the match and the away crowd are silenced by a stark scoreboard. Enemies 2, Cascade 0. For now. A jagged mouth pressed against phone receiver. It's Cascade or nothing. And you tell her if we pull this one off, all will be forgiven. On the desk are a grey notebook, an e-terminal, and a broken photo frame. Face down. Next to the frame is an eye with a long single teardrop, shaped out of a fine white powder. The eye of your enemy, waiting to greet you. It's soft and ringed. The word accounts is written across the top in black marker. A thicket of serial numbers, dates, columns and rows cover the pages top to bottom, along with shorthand references to incomes and outgoings. You notice the handwriting completely changes in the more recent entries. The first dates back years, harsh-lined, heavy-handed, all capitals. Tempos. The second set is an elaborate looping cursive. Some of the eyes have little hearts instead of dots. Boring, boring, boring. There are none. The first set of handwriting even uses the word cunt with the same wild abandon as the second. The heart suggests a compassionate touch. Maybe even a human relations department. A list of names, titles and compensation. One of the rows has been firmly crossed out with aggressive black lines. Ignatz. Nothing in the archives. Rent, utilities and other minor operating costs, including travel. Multiple instances of round-trip tickets between Portofino and Acuerda La Luz. Acuerda, a coastal city of the Illuminated Empire's mainland. A corrupt commercial centre functioning as the launch pad for Lusian goods, directed at the developed world. You avert your gaze. It doesn't turn on. Someone's cut the cord. The crying powder eye stares at you. It is a signal. The crudeness of it points towards a sick joke by the weeping eye. The eye watches you. The silence in the room agrees. The eye dissipates. As you turn the frame around, dust falls and a blade of light momentarily obliterates the row of faces presented. Cutting straight to our heart. A surprise attack launched from your own past. Here you all are. Taxman. S-Stock. Virtue. Cascade. Radiant. Kindred. Holocene. Your former network, known to the Opera as. Unknown to you as those friends you left to die 5 years ago. A set of implements arrayed upon a workbench. Your people. None of them meet your eye, apart from you, the only one looking down the camera. They were counting on you, and you abandoned them. While they thought of you, you thought only of yourself. You selfish little child. What a thoughtful gesture. Very late, but very thoughtful. You slip the photo out of the frame, into your pocket. Pressing against your heart once more. You did what the assignment called for, what you were told to do. For Cascade, all will be forgiven. A fatal case of sentimentality, leading cause of death among old assets and spies. He wanted to keep you all around. Too late. Fading lights in the fog. You are here now, under attack. The goal difference after the previous outing. Enemies, 7. Cascade, 0. Count today's set pieces and you're on 9-0. That's the relegation zone. The manager's position is in jeopardy. Beneath the photo, and your heart, a tug. The window to your right. Did someone see you come in here? You can make out an impression of the Bazzar beyond the window, obscured by dust and grime. You gather up your sleeve and exhale onto the window, where your breath reveals a clear handprint in the dust. You raise your hand and place it gently onto the print. It's smaller than your own. That is not Tempo's hand. You are late to the party, and the after-party. Across the canal is the district of Lower Vudas, a haggling mess of slums, continually sprouting from the defunct ruins of itself. A cross-section of the city would be a cliff face, stacked with evidence of floods, political tides, and fossils of forgotten hardware. Nighttime finds the Bazzar nearly empty. You observe a few teenagers and individual souls going about their routines. Just like the former overseers of S-Ilk No. 3, standing at this window, studying the movements of the dye workers, looking for signs of disturbance, or signs of the revolutionary consciousness organizing itself. An unusual shape breaks the pattern, a large orange figure, sliding between the stalls, glancing up at the office. Too much and too often. The man from the photo shop. A possible cover. Something flashy to distract from something ugly. Of course, in espionage, coincidence is folklore. Known to the Opera as the whole sick crew.
News from the crash site. Recovery crews have pulled a scorched orange box from the wreckage. On the casing, block letters in Mercian, Illuminado, and Standard Cohilan. Memories. Extreme caution required. Initial reports say the contents are virtually pristine, untouched by extreme temperature or blunt trauma.
A testament to the power of the Operant Bureau's conditioning, preserving the original memories at sub-dream level.
Definitely not.
Memories dormant in the paving stones and eaves are beginning to rise. The air itself grows heavy with past sensations. Pain. No. Keep away. This will definitely hurt. Estimated duration. Eternal.
A glance at the manifesto reveals 6 hearts, perfectly preserved, 1 birthday note, handwritten, 1 pair of headphones, sweat-stained, 2 packs of black cigarettes, for a mark, 2 portaferin fighting beetles, 1 faded receipt for 2 snaps of the fog mirror. The box isn't designed that way. The past is being kept under high pressure. Pull the release and the hatch blows right off. The metal release handle is too cold to touch. Already, you feel a little bit less alone. Whether you're prepared for company is another matter.
The smuggler inclines his head. He already fears the worst. You don't need to get into the uglier details. He already fears the... He doesn't know what he's asking for. Not really. Cowards. A flicker of river green, bright and unguarded before the glasses slide back down. You see him, boots braced on a trembling deck. His vessel noses out past the breakwater into the Nos Correntes Sea. Behind, Portaferro dissolves into a golden blur beneath a pale sky. Tell him to not go into that office himself. He shouldn't see. The man may be gone, but the ties live on. Post-mortem loyalties. Sign of a well-cultivated asset. He doesn't have to like it, but his nights will be kinder for it. In exchange for keeping tabs on tempo, the logic holds, given what you found in the office. There it is, the man from photo 24, and the one sniffing after you. He adjusts his posture, shoulders slack, lamplights fracturing across his glasses. Amid shadows, the bazaar seems almost still. Controlled, subtle, the man has had formal training. Had you been standing a couple meters further away, you wouldn't have registered movement. Still, he'd bet on the flashy jacket prick. Brave. The roundabout's wide open. It'd be hard for a tail to not give themselves away. We'll make a call as soon as you step away. It will work out. He lowers his head and... A click somewhere inside. The world slows. A sudden release of epinephrine into the bloodstream. You lock eyes with the man from the photo shop. He cradles something within his coat. The time to act is now. Two paths are before you. Go straight or go down. Engage functional invisibility and waltz right out in front of his eyes. Become translucent, refract light, hide in plain sight. Functional invisibility is an advanced cognitive maneuver. These tactics are not officially recognized by the Operant Bureau, though operants share rumors of their success. Your opponent looks this way, then that. He thought he saw his target, but there's no one there. Just nondescript masses going about their business. Atoms shiver as you pass through them. He turns his head in your direction. For just a moment, the world is invisible too. Your form may flicker, but keep focused and the disguise will hold. The exit is in sight, tantalizingly close. And so is he. You hear the whine of a 50cc engine. A small tuk-tuk appears in your peripheral vision.
Yo, Obricant, this way!
A teenager in a tuk-tuk called you a cunt. They may be an ally. You may not have a choice. Only one way to find out. Your body crackles with electricity as you batter your foe into submission. His eyes light up in fear. The man flinches and the air stands still. Two bodies collide. One folds.
Come on, time to move!
The man's hand slips out of his coat. He grips a camera tightly to himself. You race towards the waiting tuk-tuk. and hoist yourself up.
One of those nights. Can't akimbo.
The girl gives you a quick, not exactly kind once over from behind a dark cigarette and crescent nose. Ouroboros black, case closed on the cigarette thief. Her eyes are each a different color, amber and ash.
Don't recall throwing it. I'm just someone who's been waiting on you, Herschel.
Your true name brings a shiver with it. You are better known than you realized.
Cascade, then. Fuck it. Have two names. Temple said you'd be late, but he also said you'd show.
Your former asset was swapping secrets with a teenage girl. What is occurring here? Not that. Probably. The man was a committed homosexual.
All of it's gone wrong. Someone took Tempo out. The whole way out. Who do you think found the blood?
A trembling young hand searches for the bite of the dead bow. It takes 5 attempts.
He's dead. Turbo dead. Sorry.
The adrenaline is discharged. In its wake, nostalgia and pain.
We all knew it was coming one way or another. Like Tempo used to say himself, no one in gets out alive.
This is a brave face, for your sake.
Trust no cunt. That's my red line policy these days. Trust me, this is the best way to protect them. We've been attacked, Herschel. Beaten, all ends up. Bazzar's a war economy now. Tempo had enemies in every direction. Take your pick.
Steady hand, even voice, poised beyond their years.
Or maybe that's what someone wanted you to think. But sure, Herschel, let's go with Weeping Eye. Or the Carabineros. Or the Azuri mob. Maybe they want to go to the mattresses again. Fuck you care anyway. Tempo always called you a friend. 5 years, no word. Some friend.
Mayday, mayday. Gang taking heavy emotional flak here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Carried from a nearby apartment, a piano melody floats through the room as if on small wings.
Anyway, he's gone. So now it's me or it's nothing.
The girl studies her half-dead cigarette and falls silent. You can hear her silence. Don't trust you with the big stuff yet, fuck off. The girl inspects the disc over the top of her cigarette.
This is one of those Einzel fucks Petre won't shut up about. Never. They're meant to be pretty rare, aren't they?
Pseudopod has unlocked one of life's secret endings.
I know she's missing, but that's no state secret. Whole world knows that. Kidnapped, I heard. Sad end if it's true.
A flash of your abandoned double, alone in a lonely room.
Fucking losers. Where did you get that anyway?
Hold your cards close for now, operant. All remains tilted. Be open with her. This girl is not your enemy. She may yet be your ally.
As in dead?
On the second floor of a failing photo outlet, a pair of green eyes widen, catch a glimpse of the impossible, then cloud back over.
Sorry to hear it. What happened to him?
He deserted the track before the starting gun. Mental weakness led to physical.
This spy shit's got a high mortality rate. Sounds like we're two down, Cascade. And getting cunted harder by the minute. Hope he pulls through. Okay, good. Whatever. From the photo on Tempo's desk. That was all of you, right? The whole sick crew?
Your heart begins to thunder.
6 cunts in Tempo. That's what I think. Let me see. You look a lot younger. Like, a lot. Ignatz, area clown with shit taste in jackets. He used to work at the Bazzar, till Tempo sacked him. For being a clown, officially. And unofficially, for maybe going in with the weeping eye. Carmona's got dye in her brain or something. Whatever she comes out with, assume the opposite. Either way, Kuntz just bought himself a lifetime ban from the Bazzar. Welcome to the delinquent heap.
His second banning that you've been witness to. He's a ban magnet.
The ritual, obviously. Has it started yet, or what?
That's your cue to know what this is.
Cascade or nothing. Tell her Taxman is ready to begin the ritual. That was Tempo's message to the opera. What's it mean?
Horoscope. Not a term from the Operant Bureau's playbook. It's a tempo styling for something significant. All gravitas and enigma.
I would, actually. I just saw you in action. I thought you were high up in the opera or something. Tempo said you were top floor, brightest spy in the sky.
Uh-oh. Tempo didn't know they shelved you after 91. He thought you were still respected, revered even. No need to mention a half-decade career ender in the freezer. Play it mysterious. Teenage girls love that.
What's that mean? Are you still a spy? Thanks for the honesty, but the way Tempo talked about you, I'm glad he's not around to hear that.
So are you. For my old friend Cascade, tell her Taxman is ready to begin the ritual. No silly cunts. Cascade only, person to person. Cascade or nothing, and you tell her, if we pull this one off, all will be forgiven.
You're supposed to be the Great Cascade. Pockets full of answers. All my cards coming up.
The girl closes her eyes, then opens them again. Smoke drifts from her nostrils.
Quiet, Herschel. I sense the presence of spirits. They want to commune with us.
Tears iced over with sarcasm.
Yes, I hear them. They're close. They're whispering. Ritual's completely fucked. It's gone. Unless you can find this old Luthien guy. Before Temple got knuckle-flicked off the board, he was setting up a massive deal with some Luthien guy who's like 1,000 years old. Someone way high up. My best guess? This ritual's all tied up in that.
Ritual, deal. You could easily hear Tempo exchanging one word for the other.
Maybe, but we're getting into specifics now, Herschel, not abstracts. Ritual, cool. High stakes deal, way more ominous. Temple called it a blow for culture in defiance of all known laws. And he said that if he fucked this one, the weeping eye would kill us all. He said this numerous times.
The exit papers you discovered at the shrine grow a little heavier in your pocket.
Seems that prophecy is coming to pass. Temple was first, a blood sacrifice in his own office. Next is me. Then you, probably, if you're still around. You're part of this deal now.
With your old friend, it was never one deal. Always a tangle of side bets, optional riders and overlapping interests. Arranged in such a way that Tempo always wound up across the table from himself. This time when he sat down, the other him was already slumped over the table, bleeding across it.
I never knew his name, or his new name. But yeah, that's him. Where'd you get that?
Here, point awarded.
You mean the shrine with all the pictures of dead people? Good fucking omen. This Dante prick disappears a couple of weeks back. Gets snatched, vanishes. Like that. Said some hyper-incriminating shit into the phone that everyone knows is tapped. Extremely schoolboy error. Tempo's on the other end. Hears him get taken. Black bag job. Now he's locked up in some secret jail, saying who knows what to who knows who. Right. Malin. Said her dad turned into thin air. She doesn't smile much anymore. Not a great look when you're trying to sell parties to people. You should see her fucking receipts. Yeah, it's right under the flashing neon sign that says, "Secret jail this way."
Highly likely that this sign doesn't exist.
Sorry. It's been a tense couple of weeks. I don't know where this jail is. Spy stuff, your world. I'm useless here. This old guy getting snatched really spooked Temple. Like weapons-grade coke binge spooked. Last time I saw him, he was bleeding out of his nose and talking very seriously about fate. Correct. You've got me in this safe house, and I've got you. I'm not on coke, but I am spooked to fuck. You need to find this old Luthien guy and either just bust him out or shut him up. If this ancient prick spills on our massive deal, we're all fucked. You, me, and everyone.
She was going to say another name there.
Everyone, I said. The bazaar, the vendors, the smugglers, whole kingdom. Mayday every day.
No, something bigger here. Something she's holding back. This is her way of asking for help. She needs a friend. We're currently 2 friends down. We could use one too.
Thanks. And fuck those opera cunts. What do they know? Tempo always called you the best. Take him at his word.
A distant door slams somewhere beyond you. The soft, stifled piano carries over muffled laughter and child velocity footsteps from the apartment above.
He said you'd come through for him, too. For us.
And you tell her, if we pull this one off, all will be forgiven.
So find that old prisoner, Herschel, and come through. Yep. Tempo offered him safe passage through Portofino, set him up with a new life. He was good at moving people and making them up.
Human smuggling. Risky, yes, but not exactly earth-shattering.
No. The massive part, the defiant part, was what Tempo was getting in return. Something he called the Mega Violator.
As she speaks, a tiny shiver passes through her. Highly likely that's not what it's actually called.
I would say conceptual object, but it exists.
Track this thing down, wield it, relieve the world of the burden of consent.
The illuminated cunt never came through with it. Or at least, he didn't have the chance. So who knows where that got to? Only shot we got. It's you and me, Herschel. 1 cunt down, 2 more behind the ghost of him.
Her hand reflexively reaches for the cigarette packet jammed into her left bra strap. She smacks the packet once against the side of her head, then flips open the top and plucks one out. A glancing flash of a person overlaid upon another, like a stencil nudged off its overlay. At the aerotram stop with Tempo, fog-stained and matted with rain, the final time that both of you felt certain would not be the final time. He smacked the packet on the side of his head before offering you a smoke. You do it too sometimes, without realizing it, when you're thinking of those days. Nostalgia is a symptom of reactionary mental retreat. You must remember forwards.
We host here, Hush?
Your asset glances at you, cigarette paused halfway to mouth.
Anything from our dream kid?
Kindred, unreachable for the last 16 hours. The screech and groan of your aerotram arriving.
You should probably get on that. Don't worry about me, I'll be alright. Take care, you dim cunts.
Yo, ground control to Herschel. You look like my grandmother during an absence seizure. Closer than most, I would say. Yeah. You're right, it probably does. My name's Yana, and I'm the fucking man. On account of my many enemies. Enemies all the time.
You're liable to get kicked in any minute.
I've got a lot more problems than the ones you're bringing me. And I've got solutions to those problems in motion. Retract your nose from my affairs.
The air in the apartment is very stale all of a sudden. Cigarette smoke swirls like a spell.
Keep your powder dry, Herschel.
Cobblestones awash in early morning lights. Bazzar hovers by the fogged mirror's doors, his cap tilted against the drizzle.
Surprise backup. Good. Crime scene's here. Failure to serve before 9. 6 more minutes. Then I say we go in and ask questions. If you insist. But I am here for work. Ugly pelota game last night. Couple stabbings.
Work justifies presence. Any liquor is incidental.
One of the regulars will talk. Why are you out and about?
6 hours in the back of a tuk-tuk, watching a bordello's comings and goings, cupping smokes to hide the glow. The boy working the door forced smiles through smeared lipstick. 12, you figured? Maybe younger.
That seals it. I'm taking you in. For your own good.
The doors open. You and Vespa walk in with shared purpose.
I've moved Pseudopod into the spare room. He'll be safe in there until he recovers.
She gestures towards a small room with a small bed inside it. Situated on the bed, your would-be double could almost pass for a convalescent, were it not for his empty, fish-like eyes.
No, I would have to agree. He's been like that since I moved him. What about you? Are we any closer to finding out what happened to him? I suppose that's principled of him. Lot of good it does Pseudopod just now. Were you able to piece together what he was investigating before you were up?
Something she should know better than to ask, and you should know better than to tell. Her demeanor is sincere. You could open up if you wanted.
And? Oh dear. That doesn't seem good. That's all we can do. Come at it fresh tomorrow.
The attitude that has carried her through her entire life, through whatever hardship.
Well, I suppose that's all. I'll get back to the desk.
She doesn't move.
I was just wondering how it feels, you know, being in theatre again. Yes, that makes sense. Pseudopod said it could be extremely challenging. You picked an interesting time to come back to Portofino. It's not the same city it was 5 years ago. For one, we've become a front line in MTER's culture blockade. The powers that be seem to have become more protective of their investment here. 'Tis the season, it seems. Pseudopods seem to think they may even have operants working in the city right now.
No match for us. You swim with sharks and jellyfish.
Then of course there are the anxieties about a reunion. No one can say whether in 5 years' time we'll still be part of the developed world, or whether we'll have been annexed by techno-fascists. It sounds egotistical, doesn't it? But I suppose I do. Time will tell whether it's the right thing or not. I'll be here if you...
The bed welcomes you. The stillness of the room quietens your mind as you settle. Raw information atomizes itself on the other side of the world and rings. You returned. You leave the trout.
The 10mm bullet in your chest upsets the metal detector at the labor assignment office. Consider this the objective correlative that makes what comes next feel predetermined. You're pulled aside by a heavy-set officer with a disconcerting grin. He guides you first to a small booth, then a separate room in the far back. This room is overlit, oppressive. On the desk, an electric kettle and 2 small television monitors stacked atop one another. The overweight talent scout behind the desk pours a cup of cold tea and offers it to you. A Mercian background makes you a natural for in-theater work across the developed world. 2 years of training and conditioning. By 86, you're tapping the phones of mid-tier economists and chloroforming guard dogs with a brilliant young operant from the Remembrancer's office. Your controller orders you to assemble a new network in Portofino. Special-ish, yet ultimately expendable. The ideal operant.
She doesn't seem to have been expecting you. Strange smell about her. Chemical. You remember it from somewhere. The aggressive man said she's been huffing photochemicals. Something's got her in an unusually euphoric mood.
Of course, all good here. How may I support you this fine day? Ah, yes. I poked my head in upstairs, just for a second, to check the hot water.
A hot water heater on the 2nd floor. Definitely snooping.
And I couldn't help but notice the art. I'm curious about your choices.
You are being challenged to justify yourself. No. This is an artistic meeting of the minds. A curatorial critique.
Oh, I see.
She hides the disappointed twist of her mouth behind her hand.
You sound like my ex-husband. Oh, of course. I should have known. I suppose this is all rather glamorous, isn't it?
Hopeful. Deluded.
I believe I have.
She tries not to think about it.
I'll have to take your word for it, Cascade.
She feels his eyes on her. Through the bag, through the paper, the second she enters the room. She shuts the door quickly and totters back down the stairwell with a shudder.
Well, I'm... Whatever makes you feel at home?
Sweet, slightly pungent, reminds you of overripe apricots. All signs point to...
Excuse me?
Her eyes are looking every which way but towards you. Highly suspicious.
You're confused, operant. You've probably just never smelt photographic toner before.
Negative. Toner has a sulfurous odor. Rotten eggs.
Oh, for God's sake. Fine.
She produces a small brown glass bottle and sets it on the counter. Puffy Herschel, ready to rag up.
It used to be a respectable habit, you know. Prescription. I don't see why a little rag now and then should be a big deal. All the same, it's terribly unprofessional. I should really quit. Is this some kind of assessment? Nothing too much to tell. Certainly nothing that would interest an international actor like yourself. I've been running this shop for the last 3 decades. Business isn't exactly good, but it's enough. No, it's just us.
You and the breathing mannequin.
Divorce.
Unwelcome terrain. Tread lightly.
He grew bored of me. Wasn't in the cards. Most people prefer drop-off and pick-up for their film and prints. No one lingers here for very long.
Some days pass without a single customer.
A fit of boredom, if you can believe it. Here I thought I'd broaden my horizons, so I signed up for a mailing list, one dedicated to foreign literature.
An age-old recruitment technique. Let those with a sufficiently international perspective reveal themselves.
Then one day, this very polite man with a very pleasing accent was on my doorstep. I thought he was going to try to convert me to crystal worship. Instead, he asked if I'd be interested in letting my upstairs room. Yes, it was.
She likes remembering him this way, in her shop, pretending to discreetly examine her list of services.
I don't presume to know the inner workings of the opera, but I have to think I could be better utilized. Of course, I'm happy with the tasks I've been assigned thus far. Keeping a safe house is a major responsibility, but I have other skills, you know. Chemistry, for one. I have an entire photo lab back here with access to all kinds of toxic chemicals and powders. And yet I doubt anyone would suspect a woman like me of, say, poisoning someone.
Whatever made this woman a plausible asset, it wasn't her knowledge of chemistry. The disconnected fantasies of someone who only knows how to be alone. In the operant bureau's most fevered dreams, you would move as ghosts, phasing through walls, a mouthless set of ears and eyes, ungrounded and all-observing.
If the assignment required it. Of course, I just wanted you to know. Born and raised, as were my parents, and just as proud of it as they were. It was a different time back then, of course. Kisak feeds itself, my father used to say. There was a steel foundry just a couple of streets away, as was silk, leather workers, bakeries. People used to make things here. I'm no regressionist operant. I know Portofirans made their choices too. As I said, I love Kisak. It just doesn't feel like itself on some days.
The image in her mind growing fainter, like it might disappear the second she stops believing in it.
Tragic what the Lusians do to their old colonies, displacing all those poor souls, forcing them to abandon their homes, and that's the lucky one. Not to mention the reunions affecting us too. You've got refugees washing up here day and night, speaking in gibberish, making a mess. They don't even try to integrate. That's not what I had in mind. The Lusians have to be stopped. That's my final word on the matter.
She recognizes no neighbors, only potential threats.
No. Actually, to be honest, I find some of the things he says rather upsetting. Yes. And it does a good enough job of bothering me all on its own, without Subcommandante Bagman's help. Of course. I'll be here if you...
The lenses, camera bodies, flashes, and other indiscernible parts littering the workbench give off an alien and slightly intimidating aura. Handgun rounds, more likely than not abandoned by a previous tenant in circumstances similar to your own. Useless until you procure the gun. Its future potential noted, you turn away from the workbench. You return to the work. You are not a craftswoman. You have nothing to do here. For now. You approach your doubles.
I'll print. Go on then. Of course. I'll be here if you...
Could I ever see beyond her?
The middle-aged man stares into the sky, left eye loping slightly. His hair and suit are both in moist disarray. A pink tie hangs open around his neck. A crumpled paper airplane of a man. A near fatal casualty of Party Alley. White collar, judging by his attire. The smell of alcohol singes the inside of your nose.
No. All is lost. Are you looming over me in official capacity?
Always.
A hedged opening position. Exploitable if we found ourselves across the table. But I have abandoned post. Delegated all responsibility to my junior. It will hobble him, of course, the fate of our kind. I am Oscar Metamoto, senior negotiator for L'Empire de la Empire Sandu without la...
Your mind sharpens.
I am, or was, and may yet be again.
Default to a civilian mask. No need for enhanced theatrics here.
Thank you for the offer, but we are far beyond that pale.
Our enemy has defeated itself.
For immediate release, Oscar Metamoto is hors d'usage until he receives at least 3 apologies. I believe the correct term is unlicensed detention facility. Mostly urban myth, overawed folklore. Either way, not my department.
But a department nonetheless. Further proof that Emter are pulling the piano wire.
The bank is always open.
And always in town. The long shadow of Emter. So long that many citizens mistake it for the sky.
Yet another special condition on the master contract that dismantled history. But I can say no more. I am le negociator sans corps.
Enter haunting the city. Could be routine economical gouging. Could be something bigger.
I visited an old friend. On the verge of our great triumph, we defeated ourselves. The moon. But all is secret, like the silent side of that divine satellite. My old friend, the great Reno, final boss of Reno Enterprises, and most
Money, power, king with no crown.
eons, drew up his very first contracts when he was getting into private infrastructure. Bulletproof.
A tightly bound profiteering brotherhood, beyond the comprehension of lower classes.
The blood-soaked arena was Reno's apartment. Cozy little penthouse that lit tippy-top of the housing campaign. Private elevator, of course. Tunnel to Coliseum. Site of our last stand.
Direct line of sight to the campaign from here. You can see all of Party Alley from its top floor.
Top shelf liquor, mostly. The crowd roaring as we were torn apart. Blood running rivers in the sand. A routing. I knew it was a mistake accepting the invitation. Reno can have quite the time when he revs up. But one can't not drink to the moon.
Agony breaks the surface. This man is an alcoholic, recently shoved off the wagon.
We often do at our rare reunions. But no, some others fought alongside us. Intimate circle. I brought Frederick Lejeune along too, which proved to be an error, but also a lesson well learned. Train incident. Serious. Not the most auspicious start. No, model train. Fred's gone weak at the knees because the toy train was Reno's prized child. Joyous trophy. A terrible thing.
You've wandered into some bizarre capitalist shit here. Faithful readers of the party's circular know all about the disturbing tendency in so-called developed countries to copulate with consumer objects. Headphones, pillows, bicycles, now model trains.
I believe I did. Yes. A bad one. Ah, a kindred ghost. How long did you hold out? I managed 10. Now look at us. Both back on ground level. Stay away from it, all of it. You should never come to this place.
This man has no gang left within him. He had 'em once, but they've all slipped back out the back while he wasn't looking.
Oh well, what's to be done? The next 10 start tomorrow.
Half of him half believes it. Asset status, endlessly exploitable.
Thank you. High tragedy. La Ballade du Frère Lejeune. I don't care to get into it. The boy's embarrassed himself enough.
The wealth class will talk to you, or it will feel the boo. You could prey on his obvious weakness, alcohol.
Freddy has made his Betty. Let him ride in it. In theory, yes. That's what the manual says. You are correct.
This from Herschel Wilk, her of 6 abandoned direct reports. The senior negotiator grows serious and raises a slow finger.
There are 3 iron cast rules to economics. A. People respond to incentives. A. Incentives alter behavior.
That's it. Lecture over.
B. be incentivizing. The deplorable science, terrifying yet always logical. Devious, but not unattractive. Yes, I think I'll take it. We've made a deal, strange woman. A deal sealed and done.
He throws the alcohol back down his throat, eyes open wide, staring at the sky.
Metamoto is back at the table. So, yes, the little reunion we had at Reno's, the one that's rendered me gravel-bound. There were a handful more high rankers present too. Renoites, movers and makers, political actors, and Metamoto and his jun. The prize train was in circulation, being shown off to a trusted few. A moment's distraction, a stray placement. Fred saunters in from the kitchen, wreathed in smiles, fails to scan the landing zone. Sits right on it. The crack, splintered plastic, a gunshot through the soul. Freddy knew instantly what he'd done. I also knew, but for the boys' sake, pretended not to notice. The Jun stayed seated on the wreckage for almost 2 hours until things got elucid enough for him to make his play.
A tremendous feat of endurance. Any slight movement would have spelled agony.
He seized a moment of distraction, then, limping slightly, off he snuck to stash the body. I, personally, have never before seen him disintegrate a model train, but it's not the first time he struck an own goal at a social gathering.
The thinking man's masturbation.
Sound reasoning. And if he does, what harm? He did not. Fortuitous. Fred would have been banished from the tower immediately. But he will notice if he hasn't already.
This little locomotive sounds inherently leverageable on both sides of the fulcrum.
He will notice. Reno cares about 2 things above all others. His cat and his train. And also his businesses above all others. That will be one of 1,000 pressures assailing the boy, but it will be a significant one. Bigger occasions have fallen through for less. You hate to see it in the professional game. Mine? Mine. I didn't see where he put the main part. He scampered off to a dark corner of the pied-à-terre to conduct his beastly business. Well, the other part is in the reliable hands of Metamoto.
A small mound inside, about 3 inches across, vaguely circular. Sees the means of locomotion.
I was trying to get the jeune out of a jam, of course. Plausible deniability. Major asset at the table.
He was holding on to it for leverage. He took it because it meant something to him. Trains are everything. The coolest thing created in living memory. The rest of humankind's inventors might as well down tools now. He gazes at you, head dipping forward like a fading pulse. Suddenly sentimental, the emotional quick change of a ravaged alcoholic.
Because it makes me think of her. What other reason is there? My friend the ambassador's wife, Lolita Calista, the last gasp of my heart, gigantress in waiting.
This woman, whoever she is, clearly means the world to him. Probably part of the reason you found him how you found him. Here's another tool to open him up with. This man is no would-be passenger. He craves to be the track, to be wheeled and chewed upon without remorse.
Am I? She is powerful. She is all-consuming, tenacious, unrivaled, strongest.
In his mind's eye, a gigantic Lolita Callista-faced train hurtles towards him.
She is train. I am track. I was beginning to think I didn't need this, any of this. That maybe the broken train was a sign to just move on if I could. But you're right, of course. I crave a state of railwayness.
Crushed by life, pain deserved. You know him well.
I see it all now. My desires are clear. Lolita must roll upon me like thunderous locomotion. I should do. And then meet my friend the ambassador at the table to discuss terms. Oh yes, this. Too small for me now. Love is hell, isn't it?
No one loves you like the party. Now find the other half, and you'll have the full thing. You could even repair it and return it to Reno. Or just hold on to it. That's half a blackmail tool you've just acquired. It's already humming with ill intent.
My friend the ambassador's wife, Lolita Callista. The only woman that will satiate Meramoto now.
Radiating with grubby intent.
My friend is the ambassador. Lolita Callista and I will never be friends. We will be all, or we will be nothing. I love her searingly. Searingly.
If there's any kind of moral conflict churning below the surface, he does not show it.
None. The terms are set. It's not sweet. It's an affliction. Worse than the drinking. Far worse. It made me think of her. Yes. I wanted to bring Lolita the train, offer it to her, and say, let's go away on this. You and I. For a night, for two. Forever. At least we could ride that train together just once. And then whatever way it went, we couldn't say we never tried. Now that I look at it, of course, it amounts to nothing. Just a broken wheel that can't move.
Reno might thank you for fixing his prized train. Might reward you too.
Come closer then. She is a masterpiece.
At this proximity, his aura of alcohol was near weaponized. This might get weird. Avert our eyes.
A forbidden one, conceived by an ancient master, high on blood sacrifice.
Rather than complete drunken nonsense, the senior negotiator's fingers are tracing a specific shape. The outline of a woman, more specifically, her left thigh. Her full figure comes into view. Lolita is 2 meters tall and almost as wide. An ancient goddess whose frame stirs nothing less than the primal compulsion to drop to your knees in worship. The barriers between your mind, body, and soul crumble as your entire being transforms into a total expression of worship. You take her in, your eyes helpless as each curve and fold leads to another, An infinite loop, a flesh fractal. The giantess sees you, peering up over her acres. She knows you are there. Beside you, in the shadow of the giantess, Oscar Metamoto sighs.
So you understand my predicament.
He looks up at you with a small shine in his eyes, a hope that you are aligned. Besieged by failures in work and love, each of his attempts to resolve one, immediately defeated by an agony from the other. Omnidirectionally fucked, yearningly erect.
Thank you for the encouragement.
Sticky. He rubs the invisible slate clean of his Lolita tracing and softly blows the air.
At one tiresome function or another, I don't recall, I was too astounded by the primal synchronicity, like the day meeting the night, ineffable, ephemeral. In the vulgar sense or the spiritual sense, unrequited. Emphasis on the the essence of my tragedy.
You know the feeling.
Here in Portofino? No. Here at my personal nadir, strewn upon the gravel? I would say affirmative. I cannot concur. One from my opposite number, one from my superiors for the professional cuckolding, and one from my aforementioned junior for making me superfluous. I wouldn't know, because he has yet to appear.
Though it may be smashed beneath him, this man was sent here with an assignment.
He's Lucian. Definitely not.
So it's the Lusians. The bank awaits the techno-fascists. Twitches at the edge of your night vision.
Mountainous vision of flesh. A true angel incarnate. Terrifying. Everything. She is my friend, the ambassador's wife.
Spoken with awe and reverence.
I've committed no corporeal crime. High mental treason only. But should it come to it, apologies go two ways at Che Metamoto. Then why am I so thoroughly cursed?
His eyes are deep blue.
It is an ungloved prostate exam, direct from the Manus Fati. One starry finger extended, powerless to do anything but brace yourself. I know how it works, but still, on principle, seems my hors d'usage will be much prolonged. I will prize them from dead hands. I usually charge a consulting fee, by the way. For you, I'll waive.